Welcome to the service clinic at Low Country Harley-Davidson. I'm Doc Harley. Well, I get several emails and sometimes phone calls going, Doc, can I install this? Well, I don't know your capabilities with tools or if you even have tools, but I did get this one email that I thought was quite intriguing. This guy said, I went on this trip out west with my wife and we got to the hot section of New Mexico and she tapped me on the shoulder and said, we are never doing this again because my right leg is medium well. And he said, Doc, I want to put a cool fan on. Do you think I can do that? Well, here's the package. It's for a 2017 and let's just see what we got in it and see if you can handle this kind of stuff. What you get is the wonderful fan that goes under the passenger side so you can cool her down. You get some wiring on it. You get the switch for you. You get some ties. You get a cover. Where does this go? You get a new deflector because a new deflector is slightly changed to fit where the fan goes on it, and you get instructions. And of course, on the instructions, one of the first things it says is the instruction sheet references several manual information, so you better have a service manual so you can get to the different items. But let's take a look at the bike and possibly where all this stuff goes, all right? Come on. All right, I happen to be working on a 21 police bike, getting it ready for service, and we put this fan on all police bikes. We believe in them, and it helps the officers in the stop-and-go traffic that they are servicing on it. So this is gonna go right in here, all right? So you have to be able to get to the two places you're going to mount it. So you have to be able to take your battery out, which means moving the ECM out of the way, taking this piece out and getting your battery out because you're going to have to access this area to be able to put this fan in this placement. Now, the wiring harness. All right. Am I going to have to wire this up, Doc? No, you're not going to have to do that because right here is the connection for the fan already in the wiring harness on this M8, and here is the connector for the AC. So you've got everything here and you're gonna tuck it up inside here. So yeah, that's possible. Now what about that little sheath that I had? Well, you have this oil line here. You're gonna have to undo this clamp, pull this off, and you'll get just a little bit of oil. So put some cloth in it. You gotta put the sleeve over it because we're gonna protect this area from the heat and the fan being in here, which brings up the other. You have to move these spark plug wires, and that's what the wire ties are for, to move it over for the fan to fit up here. So once you move the spark plugs, cover this and remove the battery so you can get to the mounting points to put the fan in this area here. You've completed this part of it, but we still have one more to go. We got to go up here to the switches. Now, on M8s, it's real easy to get this out. Well, it's a little bit tight with the fuel tank here. I would put some cloth in here, but you can get this out. Earlier models, for the earlier fans, it's going to be a problem. You're going to have to watch my video on removing the ignition switch so you can get this panel out. But on M8s, it's two 5/32 Allens, one on each side, and then this pulls out and up. Now you have to reach behind and undo these two plugs. There's one on this side and one on this side. You have to pull out to get this out because you have to access this switch area. Now, there are Torx on the other side. You have to have a T25 to get this out. And I want to take this out because I got to show you there's a little trick in getting out the blank switch that you have to take out to put the fan switch in. All right, so I'm going to put this down here. All right, let me get these Allens out. All right, now you see this is your spot lamp and you'll have two blanks here. If you turn it over, you have these little tabs and you have to pull this tab out to be able to pull this out and in. So once you have your new switch, you're going to put this in and push this back in, and that will put it in. Now, it is crucial for you to read the instructions that the fan has to go in this position. Can't be over here, can't be over here. It has to be in this position because the wiring and this is able to handle the amperage from this switch that handles the fan. So you have to read the instructions, and it has to go in this position. But I wanted to show you the little trick where this pulls out to be able to pull this in. Once you get your switch in, it just plugs into the wiring that is already here. Reassemble your panel in. Then the final part of the instructions in the instruction sheet. Yeah, last thing in it. Installation of this kit requires programming with digital technician at your dealership. So yes, you can do all the hardware stuff and save you the labor of putting that on, but you have to go to the dealer. And you go, why? I've got this all set up. Because this fan is set up to work with software to be able to turn on when you're below 45 miles an hour, but when you're above 45 miles an hour, it doesn't run. So it's not draining your battery and wasting the amount that it's working on. But also in the M8s. Now earlier, 16s and earlier kits, it runs off of mile per hour and engine temperature. On M8s, it works off of engine temperature. If your engine temperature gets a certain, it kicks it on. If the ambient temperature sensor in the fairing is hot enough, let's say you're in Phoenix or New Mexico and you're getting into the 90s or whatever, it'll turn the fan on. So the later models have mile per hour, engine temperature, and ambient temperature to turn it on. So you need the software downloaded. That's all it is really, you go to your dealership, he hooks up the digital tech, downloads the software because you already have the wiring set up, and you're on your way. And you have a fan that'll cool her right leg so she's not medium well anymore. This fan works. I like it. We put it on every police bike to help our officers keep cool in the stress of stop-and-go traffic and their daily life. So, can you put this on? I just showed you what is involved. You'll have to make that decision. I'm Doc Harley. We'll see you next week.